Hey, babes! Welcome to the Daily Dose of Growth with Whitney, where we learn to grow, heal, and learn together every single day. I'm excited for today's topic. We're talking about goals. This is a subject that a lot of people have brought to me, and they're like, Whitney, I need help with this. How do I set a goal? How do I maintain it? I have no idea where to even start. So I am going to help you with that today. So I'm super excited about this. If at any point you get any value from this, like this, share this, comment, leave a review, screenshot this, put it in your Instagram story, tag me in your Instagram story. I love to get feedback from you guys just so I know that this is actually working and I'm not just talking for no reason, okay? I'm going to give you 7 steps on how to set a goal, and then we're going to dig deeper into each of those 7 things. I highly suggest getting a pen and a paper out, take some notes, and let's get into this. Are y'all ready? I'm excited. So I'm going to give you the 7, and then we're going to just dig deeper into those. Number 1, think about the results that you want to see. Create SMART goals. We're going to dig deeper into what SMART actually stands for. Write your goals down. This is very important. Create an action plan. Create a timeline. Take action. Reevaluate and assess your progress. Now, number 1, think about the results that you want to see. When you're setting this goal, think about, is it something that you truly want? Does it align with your values and or your other goals? Does it align with your future? Is it important enough to spend hours of time and effort into it? Because if you're not willing to put in the time to something, it's probably not worth pursuing. These questions are really good to ask yourself if you have written down your goals and you just have an extreme amount of goals written out. These questions are going to kind of narrow it down and help you focus on just a few. Because if you have too many goals all over the place, you're going to get overwhelmed and then you're setting yourself up for failure. Number 2, create SMART goals. Now, if you're taking notes, I highly recommend writing this down. Once you've kind of zeroed in on what you want or which goals you're really after on the list that you have written out, S is going to stand for specific. M is going to stand for measurable. A is going to stand for attainable. R for realistic. T for time bound. Get really specific about what you want. Is it measurable? Is it attainable? Is it realistic? Is it something that could really happen if you put your mind to it? And can it be done in the timely manner that you want it done in? Number 3 kind of goes back to number 1. Write your goals down. I want you to write these goals down on a really pretty sticky note, put it on a piece of paper and decorate it, whatever it looks like for you. I want you to make it pretty enough to where you put it in front of you and it's the thing that you see every single day. Because what's going to happen is if you are looking at those goals every single day, your brain's going to start feeding that. And I tell you guys all the time that the brain is going to do what it sees and what it's fed. So if it's the thing that you're looking at every single day, consistently, your brain is going to have a better chance of doing the things to reach those goals. So after you have them written down, decorate it, make it pretty, whatever you want to do, hang it somewhere where you're going to look at it every single day. Number 4, create an action plan. A goal without a plan is just a wish. If you have set a goal and you don't have a plan to attack it, you're literally wishing on a shooting star and it's not ever going to happen. You've got to put in the action. Number 5, you're going to want to create a timeline. Is this a long-term goal? Is this a short-term goal? Is it a week from now goal? Is it a year from now goal? What does that timeline look like for you? Is it realistic enough to be done in the time-bound manner? After you've created your action plan, you've created a timeline, now it's time to take action, which brings us to number 6. Every step that you take from here on out should lead to another until you have finished your goal. Number 7, reevaluate and assess your progress. If you feel like you're not going to hit this goal in the time-bound manner that you wanted to hit it in, that's okay. You're going to get disappointed sometimes. They're not always going to follow through. They're not always going to be crushed. They're not always going to be accomplished. Disappointment will do 1 to 2 things for you. It'll destroy you or it'll drive you. Is it going to destroy you to not push to the next goal? Or is it going to drive you and push you to keep taking the steps necessary to hit that goal? What are you going to allow it to do? Because I'm telling you right now, disappointment is going to lie everywhere. You're never going to miss it. It's never not going to hit you. You're going to be disappointed. You're going to fail sometimes. Which, by the way, failure is a stepping stone to success. I can't tell you how many people I've met, how many people I know, how many people I've heard of that have had to fail 100 times before they've gotten to where they are today. Me being one of them. I personally have failed a whole lot being an entrepreneur. Being an entrepreneur is tough. It comes with a lot of failures. It comes with a lot of disappointments. But it also comes with a lot of benefits, with a lot of reward, with a really good community, It really just comes with a whole lot. And I think that's another podcast we need to have for another day, because I could really dig deep into being an entrepreneur. I mean, it has just changed my life so much. But besides the point, if you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time, every single time. So I need you to be aiming for something. Make a list of DMOs. If you don't know what a DMO is, it's a daily method of operation. I teach this and coach this in the business that I do, which, by the way, if you did not know this, I coach people how to make money from their phones. But write out a list of DMOs that you want to do every single day, going back to creating your action plan. Do these steps every single day consistently, and watch how much your life transforms. Watch how easier it is to get to your goals. Once you see how close the finish line is, you'll feel more motivated to push through to the end. Here's 4 things that really stop people from doing the things needed to hitting their goals. Their mindset, consistency, their motivation, and persevering when things get really hard. You see, a lot of people can get up and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. This is the goal that I want to accomplish by this time. Here's the things that I'm going to do to hit this goal. But then life hits them with something, and they weren't prepared for that because that's not in your action plan. And you don't ever know what life is going to hand you. So the best thing you can do is prepare yourself for that. How do you prepare yourself for that? You grow your mindset. You grow as a person. You take every disappointment, every failure, and you turn that into fuel and you drive from it. So grow your mindset. How do I do that, Whitney? Podcast. Read a book. And I'm not talking about sitting in front of the TV or listening to those serial killer documentaries on podcasts. That's not what I'm talking about. That's not going to grow your mind. I need you to be listening to things that are really going to expand you as a person. Listen, I get it. I used to read the books about serial killers all the time. I can get really into that. I love it. It was a big thing for me. But I need you to be reading books like Atomic Habits, The Power of One More by Ed Mylett, Shoe Dog by Phil Knight, 8 Rules of Love by Jay Shetty. These are just a few that I have personally read and have done amazing, amazing things to my mind. Consistency is freaking key, okay? If you cannot do things consistently, what is it all for? I used to be the most inconsistent person ever. It wasn't until I became an entrepreneur that I became consistent. And I still have trouble doing this sometimes. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you. It is hard. But the more that you can get up and start doing things every single day, you're training your brain, you're training your mind to get up and do them, and then it just becomes a regular habit, which I think habits is another good topic that we're going to be talking about here on this podcast, because I can get deep into good and bad habits. From reading Atomic Habits. See, y'all need to be reading these books, all right? Motivation. We talked about that in the last podcast. If you haven't went and watched that, I highly recommend going and watching that one. Persevering when things get hard. This is one that people can't seem to grasp. When life hits you, when life hands you something you weren't expecting, a lot of people just fall down and they stay there. They don't have the momentum. They don't have the motivation, the discipline to get up and keep going. So are you going to be the one that's different? Are you going to be the one that steps up and uses that as a stepping stool to go towards your goals, to go towards success? Or are you going to stay at the bottom with everybody else? And I don't know about you, but staying at the bottom with everybody else does not sound like a good time to me. Why doesn't it? Because I was there for a long time. I thought average and normal was what I needed to be. Being an entrepreneur and doing the things that I'm doing now makes me so different. I get so many remarks. I get so many comments about how weird it is doing what I'm doing or how much I stand out. But that comes with success. That comes with crushing goals. You've got to be comfortable being different. You are your biggest asset, but you're also your biggest weakness. I want you guys to be visualizing your goals so hard that when you accomplish that goal, you've already seen it. You've already been in that moment. You already have that feeling. You already know what it feels like. You already know what it looks like. You already know what you're wearing. You already know who's around you. That's how hard I want you to be visualizing your goals. I want you to get deep into these goals and then take the actions necessary to hit them. If you don't make the time to work on creating the life that you want, the goals that you want to accomplish, you're going to spend a lot of time dealing with a life that you don't want. Your focus will determine your reality. How focused are you? How driven are you? How disciplined are you? You see, it all comes down to the same thing every time we talk. Mindset, consistency, discipline, focus. What of these things are you lacking that you can't seem to overstep or overcome to get where you want to be? That's a conversation you have to have with yourself because I can't answer. But once you figure it out, come back and tell me and we'll talk about it. Because if you're struggling with it, I'm sure there's hundreds of other people in this world that are struggling with it because we're human. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all so, so much. Thank you for coming to grow, heal, and learn with me every day. I know I've been a little MIA. I've had a teething baby. Things just kind of got out of hand. I'm sorry. I'm human. Okay. We're going to work on it though. We're going to work on it. Little insight. We may be changing the name of this podcast. So if you guys have any recommendations, because I don't think that we're going to do this every single day. I think we're going to do it like twice a week, 3 times a week. I don't know. We're figuring it out. We're figuring it out and everything's going to be okay. We're showing up messy. We're showing up not knowing what the hell we're doing, and it's all going to be okay. We're showing up. That's what matters. Set your goals out of reach, but not out of sight. I know that each and every one of you can accomplish anything that you put your mind to. It's just the matter of doing it. I wish nothing but goal-crushing achievements for each and every one of you. I'm so proud of you all because just by you listening to these, know that you're ready for a change. You want something to give. You want something to change in your life. You just don't know what it is. So I'm proud of you for showing up. I'm proud of you for taking the time out of your day just to listen to this. And each and every time that you come back and listen to one of these podcasts, I hope that it grows your mind just a little bit more each time. I love y'all. I appreciate you more than you'll ever know. Take care of yourselves. Believe you can, and you're already halfway there.